Hello, welcome to More Than a Game Live. Me and Harry are here today going through some of the football stories, including Trent Alexander-Arnold apparently agreeing terms with Real Madrid. We'll be getting onto that in a bit. But there was World Cup qualifying games last night. England were in action. Harry, for the second game, beat Albania 2-0 on Friday. They played Latvia at Wembley last night and won 3-0. And Reece James reminding everyone when he's fit what a good footballer he is, and that free kick was out of this world, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Tuchel's had a good start then. So 2 clean sheets, and then players like Reece James showing what they can do.
It was, I mean, the free kick, the technique was,
Beautiful
goalkeeper
goal.
didn't have a chance,
No.
did he? It's brushed the post.
He said that after the game. He thought the keeper should have saved it.
Did he?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Don't know. I mean, it kissed the inside of the post, didn't it? I don't think the goalkeeper was expected, because it starts so far outside the wall and comes back. Brilliant technique. England got a second, lovely goal, great ball from Declan Rice. And Harry Kane had a tap in, doing what he does best, getting on the end of things. And Eze come on and got a third via the deflection. But he'll be quite happy. Played 2, scored 5, conceded none.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Exactly what you'd expect England to do with the quality of their opponents so far. You'd have expected them to win both of the games.
Yeah. I'd say so.
I mean, a one-word answer. I was expecting a bit more, but that's fine.
I'd say we've looked... I mean, under Southgate, it was so... Especially during that last Euros, it was just so sluggish, really. Yeah. And I think Tuchel, even though he hasn't actually gone for his back 5 system like everyone would have expected, it's still been a lot better, and we've gone scoring more goals.
But that's it, isn't it? If you can unlock the talent that England have in the forward, it's great to see like Rodgers in there. Morgan Rodgers, brilliant, and that attacking talent they've got. And if you can unlock Bellingham properly, obviously Kane's fantastic. There's lots of options, isn't it? Foden. England have got an embarrassment of riches that we're seeing. Then England have got a chance, World Cup next year. Of course, they've done well over the last 4 tournaments. Southgate, whether people liked him or they didn't like him, he still got to sort of 2 finals and come up a little bit short of semi-final, quarter-final in his 4 tournaments. But the players England have got, why not? Think they've got a chance of winning, one of the big trophies.
I think definitely over these next couple of years it's so important, just because it does feel like a missed opportunity the last few tournaments. But with the squad that we've got, Southgate didn't really get the best out of like Foden.
Yeah.
Saka played well in the last Euros, but if Tuchel can actually get the quality out of the team, then I'm not sure what squads are better, really.
Well, that's it.
There's not many.
If you look, I mean, France are always very strong, and others have got individual brilliance and some really good players. But England do have, like you're right, they do. Spain are unbelievable, of course.
They've got a great
You have
squad.
to look at them and people like Lamine Yamal and Pau Kabasi and all of these young Pedri and there's so many. They've got an embarrassment as well. But England are right up there if they click. People like Cole Palmer gets it back to the top of his game, and they are a threat. But good results last night, strong. I mean, 73%, 27 shots to 3. It's what you'd expect at Wembley, and they did it. In England's under-21 side, that had a lot of talent in, but in action as well last night. They beat Portugal 4-2 at the Hawthorns. Hackney, Waneri, Omari Hutchison, Jayden Philogene. A couple of Ipswich players getting goals there. Joe Bellingham with an assist in that one as well. So there's a lot of talent in that under-21 side as well, who will hope to be pushing for that, for Thomas Tuchel's England squad in 12 months' time, going to that World Cup, hopefully. So they're in a decent place, I would say. Just looking elsewhere, any big stories last night? Not really. As you'd expect, Romania won 5-1 in San Marino. Poland beat Malta 2-0. Bosnia and Herzegovina beat Cyprus 2-1. Albania won 3-0 against Andorra. And Lithuania and Finland drew 2 each. There is some games tonight as well, I think. No, there isn't. Yes, there is. What about Moldova, Estonia, Gibraltar, Czechia, Israel, Norway, Liechtenstein, Kazakhstan, Montenegro, Faroe Islands, and Wales go to North Macedonia. And then there's 3 friendlies: Russia, Zambia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Sweden, Northern Ireland tonight. Big big story today is Trent Alexander-Arnold, obviously. This has been bouncing around for some time. Liverpool have got 3 players out of contract this summer. They've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah, which is 3 huge footballers for Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold always felt like the one that they were most worried about. I think Van Dijk will resign. I think Salah will resign, although I would have expected both of them to be done now. But I do think they will stay. But Trent Alexander-Arnold, given his age and who wants him and all that, this was always felt like the one that was going to happen. And there's a lot of good sources, reliable sources now saying he's informed Liverpool he's leaving. Yeah. And he's agreed terms at Real Madrid. What have you made of this one?
I wouldn't say I'm surprised.
No.
I think even though has won everything at Liverpool, when Real Madrid come calling, not many players do turn it down. No. Just especially playing under Carlo Ancelotti as well. They're a massive football club, so he's, like you said earlier, was it 17 years he's been at Liverpool or something? He's done everything he can there, really.
Yeah. I was going to say, I mean, he's won. Liverpool will win the league. So he won 2 Premier League titles at Liverpool. He's won a European, Champions League at Liverpool. He's won an FA Cup. He's won multiple Carabao Cups. He's won, other trophies, World Club Champ. All of this stuff that he's won at Liverpool. So really, what else is there for him to do? If Real Madrid have come, okay, you can look and say, well, stay at Liverpool, be the captain or whatever. I think he's already captain Liverpool, said that himself.
Yeah.
Footballers, it's a short career. And when you've been so successful at the club you grew up at, there will always, I think, be that natural tendency to want to move on. I think everybody wants a refresh in life.
Yeah.
We can't ever put ourselves in their position because as privileged as they are in terms of the money that they get for doing a job they love, they've had to work ridiculously hard, make sacrifices and all of that. And before anyone thinks, I'm poor footballers, woe is them. What I mean is they go into the same place every day and listen to similar voices every day, playing with the same lads and growing through that.
Yeah.
When you've done it all, you must sort of go, I'd go and like to experience something else now. He's a very intelligent lad. He's got a lot of businesses outside of football as well. In fact, isn't he owner football? He's part owner in a football club as well, I think. Sure he is.
He might be.
Like bought into different things. I'm sure it's a James will check for me. Sure I read that a while ago, but he's got a lot of big business portfolio. Having Real Madrid on your CV is not many players, like you say. They are the biggest football club in the world, aren't they?
The what, FC Nantes or Nantes or whatever?
Yeah, Nantes. So he's bought into a French club as well. So he's looking at everything to be able to go and play in Spain, play with his big mates. He's big mates with Jude Bellingham, like really big mates.
Do you think as well, he spoke about while at Liverpool a lot that he wants to win the Ballon d'Or? Do you reckon being at Real Madrid gives him a much better chance than being at Liverpool?
I had an interesting discussion with the Redmen about this a while ago, and they felt he'd got more chance of winning it at Liverpool than at Real Madrid. But I don't agree. I understand what they said. They did say he's going into a team that'll have Kylian Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, people like that. But I think he will get recognised more at Real Madrid for his passing ability. I think in the Premier League, a lot is made of his defensive frailties, which he's not great defensively, is he? But going the other way, he's incredible, his passing range. And I think that'll be more lauded, playing in La Liga and playing in the Champions League with them. Little bit slower league as well, more technical. He can cope with that, no problem.
You just look at sort of how Anthony's gone on since he's went there.
Yeah. Well,
he's sort of teared it up in a way and he couldn't do it in
the technical players, if it just drops, the pace just drops a little bit, they come to the fore.
Yeah.
Right? And that is why you'll get some players who will be sensational in Spain and maybe not as effective here because it's the physicality and the intensity here. He's obviously only known intensity, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and all of that. And he's done everything I think he can do here. That's why going there, I think he will be lauded more, I think, celebrated more for that vision. Imagine if he's playing them passes that he can play, and Mbappe's putting them in, and Bellingham's getting on the end of him, and Vinicius Junior and Rodrigo and Endrick and the names are just ridiculous. Valverde, Andy, Camavinga, Tchouaméni. If he's playing them passes and they're getting on the end of it, they will be looking at him and going, wow, look at what a player he is. And I think it does elevate him to being in contention for the Ballon d'Or.
I think as well, Carlo is type of manager to play him in midfield.
Yeah.
I think he'll get a chance there, and in Spain, like you said, it's more technical. I think he'll do well there.
It is, I mean, that's advantage. See, the thing with Real Madrid is if they don't win the Champions League, I think they'll change Ancelotti. And then Alonso has been mentioned for the Xavi Alonso, and if he comes in, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold.
It's to wing backs as well, isn't it?
So therefore, again, but I do think he'll be set. He's been brilliant for Liverpool, and what could you say about his CV other than he's done it all. He's done it all. If he only ever won one of those trophies, just one, all of the things just once, but he's done it a couple of times. If he only ever won one of the Champions League or the Premier League, you go, he's had a brilliant career doing that. He's done everything, and so to keep those players motivated.
He's still only 26.
Exactly.
He's coming into his prime soon, so being at Madrid, he'll be able to show it off more.
And look at them, and if you want to break it down to money as well, he's going to get a big signing on fee simply because they don't have to pay it. If you were trying to buy Trent Alexander-Arnold, it's at least 100 million.
Yeah.
And therefore, they don't have to pay that, so you'll be getting a big wage or a big sign, and probably both a big signing on fee.
Can you understand why Liverpool fans are so annoyed at it?
Yeah.
Because I get why they're annoyed in the sense that he's going on a free, but it's not like he's going to like a direct, and it's a direct rather than the Champions League, but it's not like he's going to Man City where, you know, they're all talking so badly about him right now.
I think Liverpool fans believe that their club's the biggest in the world, right? And therefore everyone should want to play for. We all do it with our team. We all think every player should never want to leave us because we're amazing. Liverpool are a huge football club. They're massive, but they're not bigger than Real Madrid. Real Madrid are the biggest in the world, and that's just the way it is. But Liverpool are a huge football club, of course, so the fans will be like that. We'd be like that about our own club. We'd be, why are you leaving? We would be. Of course we are with anyone. So for them, and I think what will be more difficult for Liverpool fans to accept is because they are just about to win the league. Yeah. So they're at the pinnacle, aren't they? So they'll be looking, going, why do you want to leave now when we're about to win the league, and we'll see how we develop? We could have a
But in
dynasty.
the same breath, would they not say the opposite? Say if they didn't win the league and like they were where Man United are right now and he left, they'd go, oh, you're leaving us when we're not doing well.
But then you'd expect it, wouldn't you?
No, but you'd say that you'd have a go at him for jumping shit when it's bad, but then if he leaves when they're doing good, he's getting the same sort of argument.
Listen, is that...
I get it,
it's
though.
Every club, as far as I read it, no fan in general wants one of their best players to want to leave their club, no matter who you are. Spurs fans were having to go at Harry Kane for leaving, and when you're on the outside of it, you're going, of course he's got to leave. If you want to go and win, you're never going to win anything. It doesn't seem with him. He's give you a long period of time. You haven't won anything. He wants to win something. Bayern Munich are huge. Why wouldn't he go to Bayern Munich? Even though James disputes that, thinks he should have stayed, which is bizarre, but there you go. But I understood it because he gave his main years to Tottenham and he hadn't done it, so he went to win something, and he'd had a right good go with Spurs. And again, the same argument, played at that club forever, might want to change the scene. He's made up. When you listen to Keith, he's like, best thing I did, playing in a different country, experiencing a different league. Trent Alexander-Arnold has won everything at Liverpool, so he's gone the other way. They've been really successful in the period of time he's been in the team. For their fans, that's a real difficult one to take because they're so good. Why would you want to leave? So it's hard to look and go. I can look at it and go, well, Real Madrid are bigger. That's just who they are, Real Madrid. And he's a Scouser, and he's got the opportunity to go and play for Real Madrid. It's like a huge thing. The opportunity to play for Liverpool when he was coming through would have been his big thing. Can I play in Liverpool's first team? Wow. Then the next minute can I regularly play? Then he's the number one in this position he's in. Can we win something? Well, we've won something. Can I play for England? He's done that. Can we win something again? He's won more. Now it'll be, I've done all that. Can
Yeah.
I now go and play for the biggest club in world football? Honest. I remember years, you were babies, you won't remember. You won't because you weren't born, either of you probably, but I remember you were probably just born, but Steve McManaman was playing for Real Madrid, and there was lots of talk about him coming back to England. Everton wanted him, actually, and Man City. This was a year before he come back, and they went over and done a piece on him, and he was in this where he lived in Madrid, and he opened his doors out to his pool, and there was a balcony in Madrid, and he walked out and he went, why would I want to leave this? And you just looked and went, wow, why? Yeah, it's great to come back to the Premier, play in the Premier, brilliant. The Premier League, it's England.
Once you've done it, you've done it.
You've done it. It's like, there's this obsession in this country as well that this league's the best in the world. I don't believe it is.
No.
I think it's the most intense and it's frenetic and that, but for technique and testing yourself, Spain's far better, far more technical. So the reason why Real Madrid win 89 European Cups, whatever they do, because they're brilliant. Barcelona, fantastic. The technique involved, Atletico Madrid always go far in it. The technique in that league is better. This league's brilliantly packaged and there's a lot of intensity and our teams are real strong and powerful. But when you've done it every day, you want something fresh, don't you?
Yeah. I'd say for Trent as well, it's probably at 26, if he signed a 5-year deal at Liverpool, he wouldn't get a chance to play at Madrid. It's probably like the last opportunity he's going to have. Similar to what we were saying about Calvert-Lewin. If he signed a 3-year deal with us, that's his chance of going somewhere else gone, probably.
Yeah, if he signed a 5-year deal at Liverpool, then his value's 100 million again, isn't it?
I know, but Liverpool
and then
fans
Madrid
wants them to sign like a year or a 2 year.
He's not gonna do that.
So they can get money for him.
Yeah.
That was a big critique.
Then
No, I
that's
get
another year
that.
of his career
I
gone,
do
man.
get, don't get me wrong, I do get that. But then I've also heard ex-Liverpool players criticising the club for allowing this to get where it's got. Do you know what I mean? I don't.
Your three biggest players.
Well, that's it. But like you say, I think Salah and I think Van Dijk will sign. I mean, we're in March and you go, well, I don't know, we're in the sort of final week in March and they haven't. But I think they will stay. The thing with him, you cannot let a player get, at 2 years out, they should have been saying what you want. To protect it, maybe it's an extra a year, like you've said, maybe it's to throw another year on it. But he might have been playing Liverpool, you know, at their own game and going, we'll see, I might sign or whatever. I want to evaluate. But he's his own person, isn't he? And I just think you look at it and go, it's dead easy as a fan to cling on to players. It's dead easy. Because we can never be them. So we don't know what's in their head. But and you two will experience this as you get older and you're in certain jobs or whatever. There becomes a time when you've done the job you're doing and you go, I need something fresh. And it might be another opportunity. It might be do something a bit different in that. Well, he's a footballer doing the same thing every day, doing the same, going to the same place, wearing the same shirt, playing for the same fans, and it just cycle like that. And that's why I think you look at it and go, I want to go and experience something else. And like you say, if he would have signed a new deal at Liverpool, that would have automatically put his value back to £100 million, I think. And then you're asking someone like Real Madrid to come and pay £100 million for you. They might, if they believe he's the missing link to what they've got. But if they think, we're getting this fella who's fantastic, we know he is, going that way, we're getting him for, I don't know, they give him a signing on fee of 20 million quid or 15 million quid and we pay him 300 or 400. Well, that's what they probably pay everybody anyway. Yeah. You're getting him at a ridiculous talent, like you said. He's going into peak years for buttons, really. You're not getting a Trent Alexander-Arnold equivalent for 10 to 15 million pound, are you? You're not, are you?
Definitely
so
not.
For them, it's a great opportunity. For him, it's an unbelievable opportunity to have Real Madrid on his CV. And if he goes over there and tears it up, he could just have another 10 years playing in Spain.
Yeah.
Just chilled out. If you play well for Real Madrid, you stay there forever, don't you?
Modric just signed another year, isn't he?
Exactly. Modric's just like 423, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he's been around forever and he's still unbelievable. But because it's a little bit slower, his technique comes out and then they use him. And they've got Carlo and all of that. So I understand it. I understand Liverpool fans being upset as well, because we all would. I don't think anyone should criticise them for being upset. You can just go, I sort of get why he wants to go. but I also understand why you would be devastated, because he's a difference maker for Liverpool at times. He really is, his passing. When you've got Mo Salah and Jota and others getting on the end of his passes and they score goals, you go, yeah, I understand why they're so upset.
I suppose I hate Ross Barkley loads because of sort of a similar reason. And if I put it in that light of how much I like Ross Barkley and how much I felt like when I was literally represented me in a way because he's from Liverpool, then I get that sense. But if Ross Barkley won everything and Everton in the Champions League and then got off, I'll go like, yeah, it's fair enough. But the way some Liverpool fans are acting online is like he shot someone.
I know, but
that's a bit too extreme.
I don't think, yeah.
Heads went out before if anyone was in
No,
the
I
Everton
know,
live, and
I know.
that's dramatic.
No, listen, I get it. But all I'm trying to say is that I think you're always... There'll be some Liverpool fans who go, fair enough. I get it, he's done everything and he wants to go and play for Madrid. Fair play. And they'll accept it because they're probably the older fans who have seen it, more of it. As a younger fan, you would be devastated. Of course you would. And especially when you're going to win the league, you feel like you've got a chance to try and, you know, put back-to-back Premier League titles down, which is something they'd love to do. But and then all of a sudden you're weakened because your next option is Conor Bradley, who's a bright, but he's not that level at the moment. You know, he's different.
I think as well, though, that I know he's gone to Real Madrid, so the media attention's still going to be there, but the sort of English media attention that's been on him recently where, you know, like people having a go at him for defending and stuff, and the fact he can't really get in the international team anymore, that probably contributed to him wanting to go. Because you watch Sky Sports sometimes and they don't half hammer him for like nothing really. I think that's how.
I think he will feel that he will be appreciated
more
at Madrid in terms of, not by the fans, the Liverpool fans appreciate him, but just in general, and therefore his status in world football will go up by playing for Real Madrid. That's how I sort of interpret kind of what's gone on around them and stuff. So it'd be a fantastic signing for Madrid. Like you say, in a league that's more technical, I think he'll thrive as well.
Yeah.
And playing with unbelievable talent, which he's going to be playing with. They are, you named it, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, and they've got terrible injuries at the back this year, but if they had the season with you and they don't have any injuries, they'll waltz everything, the league and the Champions League, because they're that good, aren't they? I mean, I might say if they win it again this year, when they haven't even been at the, you know, they haven't been anywhere near their level because they've had players, wingers playing at fullback and everything because they've had no play. They've had so many injuries at the back.
They've had that Tuchel at centre back.
Exactly, they've had it all. Cameron Vingers played left back, and I know he's done that before, but you know, you just look and go, why is he playing? And you look at them all. Danny Carvalho out injured. They've had Militao out injured. You keep
surprised
picking
he
up.
never got Alphonso Davies, wasn't it?
That was a shot. Well, it felt like he was coming in on the left, and Trent Alexander-Arnold was coming in on the right.
Because Ferland Mendy's 30 now.
But Bayern have obviously offered him a big wage, and he's decided, yeah, I'll stay here. Well, that's in a way though that's good, isn't it? That you can't just get everybody, because then it. But another player who's been linked with Madrid today is Huijsen at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
For 40 million quid. He's been sensational for Bournemouth. He's got a release clause of 40 million, which
it's a bargain.
Looks like an absolute snip.
Yeah.
To get him in at that level, he's played with his flip-flops on at times in the Premier League. To go into Spain and be at the heart of that defence. What is he, 21, is he?
Yeah. He came from Juventus, didn't he?
They got him at I don't know, they got him at a snip. I don't know what Juve must have just thought, we'll make some money quickly and get him out. And he's been unbelievable. If they get him in, I mean, what a team.
Yeah.
On loan at Roma as well.
That's what you have to do, don't you?
Well, Madrid tried to get that Lenny Euro for this summer because he was going to be on a free, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Before he went to United. I think that Huijsen has just probably come up at a good time for him.
Well, again, some people go, wow, but Jarrett Brantwaite, they've looked at, because obviously Carlo's a big fan, apparently, of Jarrett Brantwaite at Everton. But for Everton to let Brantwaite go, it's 80 million.
Yeah.
If you can get Huijsen
for half of it, you're going to go Huijsen, aren't you? Yeah.
As good as Jarrett is, and I might think he'll be...
Sounds great for us.
But that's what, unless, you're getting 40 million plus Rodrigo or something, or Enzo, if it ain't ever happening. So therefore, if you're them, you go, yeah, we're going for Houston at Bournemouth because we know we're not paying more than so £40 million on paper for Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Houston from Bournemouth is you're fixing, you know, a big part if he plays him right back, but you're fixing a big part of that defence with younger players who play a lot of games, and that's what they need, don't they? It's going to be. Do you think Salah and Van Dijk will stay?
I thought last summer, actually thought Salah was going to go to Saudi, but as it's like dragged on, I think he probably will sign another year. Just because, like you said, if they can win 2 back-to-back league titles, which is what they want, then that'll be huge for them. And obviously, Salah's a massive part in that.
He's the best player in the world, isn't he, at the moment? His goal, I think in the Premier League alone, he's got 44 goal contributions. I think he's got
mental.
50. I think he's got 53 or 55 overall in all there, which is just stupid. It's utter nonsense. The amount of games he plays, 30 plus every season, doesn't get injured. So what is he, 32? Still.
Even in seasons where people have said he's been quiet, he's still got 25
he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. And they'll struggle to replace someone of that talent. He can get other good plays, but he's been remarkable for them since he come, hasn't he? And, but should they be a little bit worried that they know, Liverpool know, because obviously they're doing the negotiation, but as a fan, if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be thinking, feel like he'll stay, but it's last week in March, why haven't we heard anything? And him and Van Dijk apparently have hinted in the last week that they're no closer to signing new deals, which could be a bit of gamesmanship. What was that?
You'd argue out of the 3 that Alexander-Arnold would have been the safest one, purely on like the fact that he's from Liverpool. He's the future of the club.
I honestly didn't see any way he was staying. Once Madrid was serious. I
know, but sort of what how Liverpool's model is and how quick they just get rid of players and sort of they cash in on players and stuff.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's weird that they've let him go and then they keep the other 2, especially when like Van Dijk and Salah are not getting any younger. They're not going to get any better than probably what they are now, even though Salah will
score 20 again next year and play 35 games. That's what he does. He's brilliant.
It's such a weird position to be in, and that like there's a potential that the 3 biggest players aren't going to be there next season. It'd be scary.
That's why I don't see all 3 of them going. I just
do you think they throw like just any money at them though?
No, because Liverpool's strength has been their structure.
I can't see them. I don't think any of them will stay.
I do.
I think the most likely is Van Dijk, but I think Salah's gone.
Do you?
Yeah. If Saudis are offering that much money to him, why would he stay at Liverpool?
Because if I'm Mo Salah, then I'm thinking, go to Saudi, that's sort of my career over, isn't it? It's a drop. He'll get 40 goals in Saudi, won't he? Ronaldo's still getting 20-odd goals. He's getting 40, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's only 32. He's still producing at the very, very top level, isn't he? If he goes to Saudi, I could understand them going to Real Madrid. They're not going to take him. I could understand that. Even Barcelona, I could understand it because he might want something new again for all of the reasons we talked about. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Mo Salah's done it all as well.
Yeah.
And that'd be a great thing to have on your CV there to play for Barcelona or Real Madrid. Even Bayern Munich were linked with him, weren't they, last week? Although Harry Kane was linked with Liverpool yesterday, so who knows? Then that's another big club in another country to keep it fresh, still producing, still playing in the Champions League. Mo Salah going to Saudi, I get it for the money. Probably $1 million a week or whatever they give him.
Biggest Muslim athlete.
He would be the biggest Muslim draw there, and the adulation would be incredible. For them, it's an unbelievable sign for their league. But for him, if he'd had a season where he's got 12, 13 goals and 4 assists, and I could understand it. But the level he's playing at,
for the same reason though that you were talking about Trent leaving, that he's won everything.
No, I know.
Not to see that as well.
No, I know, but Saudi, I think he's better than that at the moment.
When you see like the sort of Saudi presidents talking about how he's the biggest Muslim athlete and they want him in their league and stuff. And
I get it.
I feel like they paid the premium and they'd take it for like the
I
last
don't
2
know.
years.
Maybe he would. Yeah, I don't think Liverpool have been paying him £75 a week. By the way, I think he's in.
No.
I think he's on a multi. He's never gonna have to work ever in his life, is he? But you're right, he could go there for stupid eye water and crazy £2 million a week or something to have him on whatever it is because he's he would be the draw of all draws for them, wouldn't he? But I think for him, his level's still too high, personally, for him to go there. But who knows? We saw Messi turn down $5 million a week to go to Inter Miami because he wanted a different lifestyle. He didn't want to go there to that.
Well, Mane, sort of the same sort of way. He went to Bayern Munich, didn't
No, he went to Bayern Munich, and then he went there as well, didn't he? When he probably didn't need to leave Bayern. He probably could have got another top European club, but he's gone. Who knows? Who knows? But
And then, what do you reckon about Van Dijk and the photos of him with the PSG president after the game?
I can't see him going, Van Dijk.
no, I can't.
I think-
Listen, if you're them, you'd want to take him.
Yeah.
And again, playing in France and all that, and keeping him for the Champions League, it'd help them, of course. They've been brilliant, haven't they? And obviously they're playing Villa. It'd be a tricky one for Villa. They're probably favourites, but they beat Liverpool. So for me, the favourites to beat Villa. Villa can beat them, but the favourites to beat Villa. Who knows? He'd be a fantastic sign for PSG, but I think Van Dijk will stay.
Yeah.
I think Van Dijk will stay. What about Jadon Sancho? Obviously, that deal was allegedly all done and dusted. Manchester United, Chelsea in the summer. And Chelsea have asked, can they pay a £5 million compensation fee to United and send them back? For a player who United, £73 million he cost Manchester United 3 years ago. He was fantastic in Dortmund.
He did well last year when he went back.
And he went back to Dortmund and did really well, and then came back, and they wouldn't pay the money in the summer. United wanted too much. Dortmund wanted him. He should have gone, me personally, he should have gone back to Dortmund.
Yeah.
Because it felt like a good fit for him. He understands it. They understand him. It's a good league for him to play in. He probably wanted to play in the Premier League again. He doesn't smack you as a Ruben Amorim type player in the slightest. He certainly wasn't an Erik Ten Hag player. Where does he go from here?
Well,
what is he, 20? Is he 23? 20 or 25? Yeah. He's 25 today.
Well, I imagine when he signed for United, he would have signed a 4 or 5 year deal. So he's still probably got maybe 2 years left.
2 years left at Old Trafford.
Yeah, and Man U won't want to make too much of a loss on him. So it'll probably end up like Rashford did, kind of. Just stagnating until a loan comes in, another loan. Because I can't see anyone willing to spend 30, 40 million on him. Because he's still unproven in the Premier League. He's not done anything since he's come in, pretty much. So unless they lower their price and Dortmund come back, I don't see much else.
That's fine, they're mad. The talent's there.
He was so good from like 19 years old.
The talent is there. He's had the... Seen him a couple of times, even for Chelsea, produce.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. I don't know whether... I don't know. In the last 18 games, he's had 1 assist, which was for Cole Palmer at Crystal Palace. In those 18 games, he's had 13 shots, 2 of which were on target.
Yeah.
So 13 shots in 18 games. He had early on, he scored twice on the run, Southampton and Tottenham. He had 5 goal involvements in 9 league games.
Yeah.
As Chelsea got up to second in December behind Liverpool, since then, 1 assist. That's it. In 18 games, no goals.
Yeah, so he didn't start this season too badly, but I think that was the problem with Chelsea as well. They've still got such an inflated squad. It still doesn't seem like it was a good move just because it's not guaranteed game time. I
mean, look at the play. He's in sort of like attacking players with Christopher and Nkunku.
Yeah.
Pedro Neto, Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke, Nicholas Jackson, João Felix, Mudryk.
Yeah.
All...
And Felix and Nkunku are unhappy as well because even they're not playing.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's mad. It's a real... James, what a disappointing sort of turnaround for him. When you're looking at him, Dortmund, 17-18 was his breakout season. He got 1 goal in 7 starts and 4 assists. He then was in the team. 31 starts the next season, 13 goals, 16 assists. Next season, 36 starts, 20 goals, 19 assists. His final season at Dortmund, 34 starts, 16 goals, 18 assists. He created 99 chances, 91 chances, 76 chances in the seasons he started. And he went to United. First season, 27 starts, 5 goals, 3 assists, but created 99 chances for them.
Yeah.
Second season at United, 29 starts, 7 goals, 3 assists, created 67. And then the third season at United and Dortmund, 18 starts, 3 goals, 2 assists, created 35 chances. And in the last year, he's had 29 starts between United and Chelsea. 29 games all overall, 19 starts, 2 goals, 5 assists, creating 35. So he's still creating chances.
Yeah. He was still involved quite a lot under Solskjaer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think for him,
Weird.
he's in like a bit of a crossroads now where he's either got to take the hit on money and go to like a Dortmund again and rebuild his career, or do you reckon he just stays at United until his contract goes? I feel like that's sort of the big point with him now, isn't it? It's because of how well he did do.
25 today. You've got to put roots down.
Yeah.
Now, otherwise he will be one again where you sort of look and go, his career just went away from him with bad choices. Obviously, when United come in, he obviously thought he was going to be part of something there. He was 22 when he went there, or 21 when he went there, rather. He would have thought, right, I'm set up now to be United's winger for the next 5 or 6 years at least. And it's not happened, and he finds himself with a club trying to pay a compensation fee just to get him out of the club after sort of agreeing to join them. It's a sad tale, really, because he's got loads of talent.
It is weird because there must be like an attitude problem or something behind the scenes, because he had that big thing with Ten Hag, didn't he? When he was at United, and he was like completely isolated out, wasn't he? So
they've said, apparently though, all the reports coming out have said that his attitude's been good at Chelsea. He's been working after training, doing extra training. But they are strange, Chelsea. It's still a strange sort of thing because the talent they've got. They were flying at Christmas.
yeah,
Absolutely flying.
it was when they came to Goodison. That's when
it
the
was.
wheels came off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They come to Goodison, didn't try to win the game, which was, I found was really weird on the day. And the next minute.
Do you think he should pick 2 poor clubs in England to go to?
Just 2 clubs that are most known at the moment for like players failing.
Awful mismanagement.
Yeah.
The United one was weird because of obviously his links to like City and stuff. And then you look at sort of it goes back to that thing when we were talking about Jared Brandtwaite, and I said I just don't get why you'd want to go there anymore. And it's like a young English wingers went there, and you see like what's happened to Rashford, and now you see what's happened to him. It's like I just don't get what's appealing anymore. And then he went to Chelsea. You have about 800 different players they can choose from the wing, and you see how poorly they spend money with the likes of like Felix and stuff already going back out. I just feel like he's picked 2 poorly. He's picked 2 poor clubs in a row.
Well, for himself. The problem is Manchester United still a huge club. So if they come for you, then your belief, because footballers have got to have that arrogance that I'm going to play. Got to. At 21, we just talked about his numbers. Numbers were incredible. So he's thinking, I can get in this United team, and if I start doing what I was doing in GM, and he didn't start too badly, as the numbers shown. But obviously there's been a disconnect there. There was some issues maybe with mental health, I think, come out a little bit. Maybe him and Ten Hag didn't see eye to eye, whatever. And then from there, he hasn't been able to sort of establish himself. He's gone to Chelsea. There was a lot of raised eyebrows, but what's he going to do if he knows he's not going to play at United? And there's only really Chelsea who come in for him. What's he going to do? He's going to go, I'll play. I can get in Chelsea. There's a lot of young players there, and there's this new manager. I can get in that side. And he's gone there, and again, like we said, 5 goal contributions in 9 games. Started off really well. And it's hit the wall, so much so now that they're ready to let him go. So it's very, very strange. Real Madrid apparently keeping tabs on Nico Williams. He's got a €62 million release clause in his contract in case, I mean, this is crazy. The report from Spain is saying in case Vinicius Jr. is tempted to go to Saudi, 24 years of age, that would be ridiculous.
Especially after getting so close to the Ballon d'Or last year as well.
Crazy. Just on United, there's a report in the Manchester Evening News saying that they're ready to let 10 players leave this summer, including Marcus Rashford and Casemiro. They'll leave the club permanently.
I'm not surprised by that because Casemiro, he had that really good first season, and then the money he's on as well. I think it was a 4-year deal. It was just crazy signing.
It was a strange sign. I know they were looking for something in there, but his age and the amount of money they had to pay wasn't great.
His legs just went after that first season.
He's had spells where you've gone, he's playing really well, and then the next one, the Liverpool game.
Yeah.
And that Liverpool game at Old Trafford. Terrible. Barcelona are looking at Sandro Tonali at Newcastle, as well as Isaac.
Yeah.
I can't see Barcelona paying what Newcastle want for Isaac. Absolutely not. Spurs are very interested in Chris Rigg. Says that they're going to make a bid for him of 37 million.
Wow. If Sunderland don't come up, that'll be massive.
I don't believe that for 1 second.
No.
So I'm not having that one. Frankie de Jong wants to stay at Barcelona and is in talks over a new contract. What a surprise. The future of Brazilian midfielder Andre Santos at Chelsea is uncertain. Can't see them playing him much next season. I think another loan for him.
They've got so many players, like even Breuer, who are just out on loan, just their careers are just on hold at the moment.
Well, that's it. I mean, they need to get players off the books, don't they, Chelsea? And it'll be interesting to see exactly what they do there with them. Let's have a look at some of your comments while we're here. James Graham talking about England says he'd like to see step up in opponents. So all they can do is beat what's in front of them, isn't it? At the moment, it's building up. King Hoddle says Tuchel is a bit volatile. Hope he doesn't throw his toys out the pram. Yeah, he is. He is very much a volatile manager, but very good manager.
He said the other day in one of his press conferences that he's impatient and he needs the players to start quickly, otherwise they will just be thrown out. So that's what you want to hear, really, because you don't want players like Harry Maguire that were just not even playing for their actual club at the time, and then Southgate was still picking them every time. So at least, hopefully, players will get picked up from their form.
Phil says Van Dijk chatting to the PSG boss after the Champions League game says a lot, and says Salah will be offered a king's ransom by Saudi.
Yeah.
King Hoddle says, for me, Virgil van Dijk would be the biggest lost defensive bedrock and is their leader. And Phil says, losing 2 of their back 4 could be a big loss, especially losing their captain. King Hoddle says Salah could dip very suddenly. You see it happen with aging players. Centre-backs generally perform longer. Emma says they've been gifted the league. Bill says the same as the Leicester season. Let's have a look. Emma says if Van Dijk leaves, do you reckon they would have a bid for Branthwaite? Yeah.
They'd have a bid, but
I don't know whether I don't think Everton would sell them. I just don't think he would. King Hoddle says, do you want Richie back?
I think everyone would love him back because of what he did, but it's not a sensible signing because he can't stay fit, can he?
No. On loan. On loan, like. Peter Collins says, can you ask Harry to say the grass?
What, in Deutsch's accent?
Go on, just say
grass.
See?
Get on the grass.
Yeah, there you go. And he hasn't even got to put an accent on. Semi-charm life says it's going to be a big summer. It is going to be a really interesting summer this summer, I think, because there's a lot of people a lot of clubs, I think, who are going to be doing business. So Everton have got a pot of money, need to reshape their squad. Man City, I think, are going to, regardless, are going to spend big. I think they're going to spend big this summer. Obviously, it'd be interesting to see what Liverpool do, especially if they lose those 3. How do you replace? I can't see them losing the 3, but they're going to have to replace at least one of them.
Teams like Forest and Bournemouth as well will want to consolidate their European positions.
So it is going to be. It's going to be an interesting one, for sure. Lewis says, yes, he's going to Real Madrid without a fee, but he's repaid Liverpool with the trophies he's won. They hadn't won a league for 30 years. Yeah, but people are still going to be devastated, Andy. That's what we're saying. But yeah, Phil says PSG will come and offer Van Dijk loads. King Coddle says Salah should stay at Liverpool for 2 more seasons, then go to Saudi, and says, I don't get Sancho. You see the odd cameo, but I just don't see him as a consistent starter. Yeah, he needs to do with Jed Spence, a player with supposed attitude issues, who is now, in my opinion, one of the best fullbacks in the league. Should be in Tuchel's squad. Okay. Mark Doyle says some players can't hack the pace of the Premier League.
Yeah, he might just be suited to German football more. Even if he went, like we were saying, because Spain's more technical. If he went to a team like, I don't know, Villarreal or something, he might actually do well there. But he'd obviously need a big wage cut. But
yeah, definitely. Phil says if Sunderland miss out on promotion, there's going to be a queue for some of their young players. There is. Liam, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if he was telling the truth. Well, he will have been telling the truth, Mark Clattenburg. Marcelo asked him for a picture, but probably just because he was involved in whatever. You can't just say the fella's lying, can you? But there you go. Paul Williams says, I'd love Richarlison back, but that's a heart, not head signing. Moyes was the same for me, and he's working out for us. Yeah, listen, Richarlison, be great to have... it'd be great to have him back as Everton fans. He loved the club and he put his body on the line for Everton, and obviously he's paid the price since. But you'd have to have him on loan to see whether he can hack it or not. His body might be able to hack it, and I don't know whether Spurs would be prepared to let him go on loan. Probably won't.
Last season, he had a really good spell at Spurs. Well, it was in the middle when he came to Goodison and got that brace, didn't he? I think he scored 13 goals last year in the league or something like that. So he's not done as bad as people have made it out to be, but it is just the injuries that are the big issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, that's us done. Make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll be back later in the week. Take it easy. See you later. Bye.